Hi Adin, I hope to see you in a few hours. I'm making this video. I just wrote you a note. It'd be 20 pages long if I continue to write in a note, and my handwriting's not that good to begin with. But I wanted to take some time with you. Hopefully if you got to know what, who, where, why, and all the things that we're about, we might get something going here. Brendan and I really took you at your word that you were going to make him a star and that you were going to get involved in this pull-up thing. So a lot of the decisions that we made off of that. We dove right into it, worked really hard, and had something big going and looking for it to be done on July 12th. Well, things happen. We understand that. We're grown adults. But right now we're in a position where people say, didn't you say we're going to do this in July? Didn't this? So our hometown is kind of looking at us going, what are you guys about? It's hard to call people right now and stuff. I need to give my son direction on what to do. But I wanted to tell you a couple stories real quick. First of all, Brendan, his whole life, has been told by people that have insight. They would walk up to him and say, there's something about you, I don't know what, but you're going to be used to be leader of men. And he took it to heart, but he didn't know what. And then he started getting all these desires to become great, to try great things. And as he did it, he had to wrestle with himself and learn who he was. He's done a good job of figuring that out. Now, he's ready to start leading other men. Our goal was that with the moment with Papa and with what you got going on at Adin Ross Brand Risk Productions, that this would thrust him in a platform that he's able to share what's happened in his life and how it can happen to other people's lives. So I'm going to give you 3 quick stories. You might have heard this one already, but about him running the mile backwards and stuff. He only did that, and I want you to hear this, when he had the compartment syndrome. Went through all the surgeries, and his surgeon said couldn't save the muscle, but your son's fortunate if he walks without a limp. You got to tell him he can never be competitive in sports again. I only had a few seconds after walking out of that room to go talk to my son. And God filled my heart that said, son, you're going to outrun chariots. And his first words back to me is that he was going to qualify for the Nationals, and he ran the 800. A few months later, he ran in Nationals for the 800. And then since then, he ran the mile backwards in 5 minutes and 53 seconds, and 99% of the humans can't run it forward under 6 minutes. There was a time when Brendan was driving down the highway and he lost control of his car during a bad storm. He hydroplaned, went off the side of the road, his car flipped 5 times. On the first flip, Brendan, the sunroof popped out. On the second rollover, Brendan fell out where the sunroof was, and then he got up and watched his car roll the next couple of times. Right behind him was an EMT and a nurse. They were driving behind him. They thought they were going to pull up on a mangled body or someone dead. When they saw Brendan, they said, let me shake your hand because God's got something on your life. And just before we opened up Brendan's gym this year, on November 9th, we had the gym, brand new gym, ready to open. And the boys started having fun. Brendan ran up to do a backflip off of the 18-foot warp wall. He missed his target of landing on a mat, landed on the ground. When he landed on the ground, got up, tried to be the superhuman he is, took a couple steps, and blood started coming out of his mouth because he popped his lungs. He dropped down to his knees and he started sweating profusely. His organs were shutting down. As his organs shut down, he couldn't talk, and all he could do is fade away. His mother and I looked at him, and we've been in this situation before in our lives. You don't yell, oh God, and cry out to God. No, you partner with God. We laid hands on our son, and we started speaking life into him. We had 12 to 15 witnesses there. Within 30 minutes, it took 30 minutes for the ambulance to get there, he's starting to sit in a chair. Hard still to talk, hard still to do things, but he's not sweating profusely anymore. They get him in the ambulance, and they keep him in the ambulance for another 30 minutes. While that's going on, his sister is out in the rain in the parking lot. She doesn't know why he's in there. She wasn't with the group. She came and saw him get wheeled out. Instead of coming and asking us what's going on, she just went in the parking lot and started thanking God and praising God and dancing in the rain, saying that her brother was going to be back. I went into the building and said, nothing's changed for us. We told Brendan we would have this place open for tomorrow for the birthday parties, and we're going to plan that Brendan's going to be here. So we turned on worship music, started praising God, started cleaning, dancing, doing all the things we're supposed to do. My wife left with my son and went to the University of Kentucky. At the University of Kentucky, he remained stable there. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call from my wife. They just completed the CAT scan. The CAT scan shows his lungs bursting and instantly sealing. Yeah, they sealed itself. As we laid hands on him, his lungs sealed. My son shouldn't be here boxing for you today. That was another situation where his life could have been lost. His mother wasn't going to see him die before her birthday the next day, and we weren't going to let him die before he does what God has promised him to do. In my own personal life, over the last 10 years, I had 15 major operations, all of them in an 8-year period that stopped about 2 years ago. I started out at age 39 having a heart attack. After having a heart attack, I had 14 different stents installed over a number of years and had 2 more heart attacks for a total of 3. On the last heart attack, they said we were doing quadruple bypass. So I had that. While I'm healing from the quadruple bypass, all of a sudden they find non-Hodgkin's lymphoma wrapped around my pulmonary artery. As my family lays hands on me and prays for the cancer to leave, it does, but it leaves holes in the artery. So I started coughing up pints of blood. Because of that, they put me in a coma. And for 13 days, I was a case study as they tried to figure out how to cauterize the lung and get the blood that's coagulated in my body out of me. A week later, I'm getting out. At this point, I was at stage 2 cancer going in. I had the test given to me, the PET scan, and showed there wasn't a trace of cancer in my body. That was wonderful. The hard part was they convinced me that I still needed to do chemo. I didn't. But I let them do it. I did 5 rounds of chemo. That was harder for me to believe in faith and do all that. And then after that, my body was degenerated from all the poisons and stuff that we put in our systems. So all my bones were degenerating. I had multiple operations on my knees. Both knees are replaced. The same thing with my back. My back was degenerating, crushing the nerves. For 12 years, I was on opioids. You don't think well on opioids. I was a manager for Costco, a manager for Amazon, and I ran 14 different businesses while going through all this. My son and I have some good stock in us. Oh, finish with the back. My back collapses, get 11 vertebrae fused, that breaks, take all that out, get 12 vertebrae fused, all that breaks. Now we're just going with it. I don't know how much time I have to live, but as long as I have time to live, I have a purpose. Adin, I'd like to do something with you. I'd like to do something grand with you. Brendan wants to do something grand with you too. It was my goal and hope that as we did the pull-up challenge, the pull-up competition for him to break the world record, we actually make a challenge out and see how many people we can do doing something physical and getting healthy. We have a responsibility for people that are getting fooled into killing themselves and having the problems that I had. I don't want that for my grandchildren. So I would ask you to invest in Brendan and invest in me. We're investing in you at the same time. My son is all out for this. He's putting his time into making what he needs to be here, and we're coming with ideas that would make your business better. Yeah, we sit down and daydream about things that we could do if we were just asked. So Adin, if you need something, I've owned, again, 14 different businesses. I started one for $500 and built it to a $1.2 million business. God gives me insight on things. I love to make it available for you. So thank you for listening. Thank you for the card. I don't know if you're going to ever get to see this video, but if you do, it's a pleasure to experience the experience that I've had here. If my son is just going to be the boxer for you, he's going to be the best darn boxer you're going to be. But if you see what's inside of him, He can give you a lot of things that'll make this go. I'd rather him tell you than me tell you. But I look forward to getting to know you, sir. Thank you.